Hey, we're live. Is it on your thing down there? We're live. We got 2,000 people live and in color here already. Incredible. We promoted it big time. We're good on the phone? Okay, cool. All right, guys. So this is our first YouTube live. We're in the back here at our beautiful Bethlehem Golf Club. Rigged up a little phone situation here. So we're going to be doing live chats like this as we go. Is essentially the idea. We're going to be doing one about once a month on this platform. And obviously for this one, we didn't do a huge announcement of like we're going to be here. So as we move forward with it, we'll announce what time we're going to be here sooner. And then we can stockpile some questions. And we may even do some things where, okay, now we got some people rolling in here. We may even do some things where, we do certain videos from here and there and take whatever viewer questions you guys have and do a separate video from that too. So do a separate video from that too. So we'll go. Yeah, dude, we got more people in here now. It was maybe just you and me in the beginning, but we got a couple more people here. So yeah, as we go, Charlie, what's going on? What's up, Clayton? What's up, guys? As we go along here, we'll do more of this, and then we can rock and roll. So I think the first thing, as we go here, what's up, guys? What's going on? First I want to thank you guys for all being here and for all, watching the videos. Mary and I started the YouTube channel a while ago as her recommendation, actually, and I wasn't really quite into the idea, and it's grown pretty rapidly over the last 6 months. So we're happy to be able to present you guys with videos and have you guys all watching. So seriously, sincere thank you guys for being here. We really try and cover the stuff you guys want to hear about and try and present it as easily and easy to understand as possible. And really appreciate all the kind words. I do read all the comments and I do my best to try and get back to them as quick as I can. So I hope that there is value in the videos. If you guys have any suggestions, we're just learning as we go, about the structure of the video, what we're talking about, how we're doing stuff. So we're excited, big picture, about the membership site we launched. We're excited about some products we're doing on the side, but ultimately we really just want to do stuff that helps you guys. So I hope you guys can lead the way with that. And if we launch something, do a product, you guys like it, and you didn't like it, and you thought it sucked, then tell me it sucked, and we'll redo it a different way. So we really just want to provide a lot of value. And so with that said, we got more people rolling in here now. If you guys have questions, fire them up here. The course closes at 6, so we're going to kind of probably time-wise keep an eye on things. More on-course teaching, I agree with that. We're going to be doing more of that as we go. If you guys have specific questions about anything, you could just roll them in here, and then I'll go through. I have some room here so I can do some demonstrations if need be. And anything we don't talk about, we'll go through and we can do in future videos. We've got people from the Netherlands, Scotland, New York City. Cool. And listen, that was one of the coolest things about the YouTube so far, and it's been really cool where I haven't used the Callaway CF16s. I'm low key like not a good equipment guy. I know some of the other guys like Crossfield and Rick Shields and all them that do other equipment reviews. I was talking to Mary about like, dude, I don't even know like club stuff, so I stay away from that. Thoughts on Cameron Champ? Can you see all the comments, Mary? Okay, so can you roll back like to the top if I miss some of them? Is there any way to do that? Because I'm getting them up here for like a minute. I don't know what I'm doing on here, guys, so bear with me. I saw a thing on there about Cameron Champion. Super good swing. So I don't know much about him beforehand. I know that I think he's working with Sean Foley. I think he was leading in driver total distance and like fairways hit or close to that. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, but super good swing, super athletic, a lot of speed. And what does he have? All the videos that I'm showing you guys, if you watch his swing, watch his setup position, watch his backswing, what does he do in transition, all the stuff that we're talking about. He does a lot of stuff. The dude gets the club up top, right? And he starts that early shallowing even before the end of his backswing. And one of the guys I work with, Adam, yeah, he's the best driver on tour, dude. The guy's stupid good. I'll talk about impact snap in a minute. And he shallows that club down even like at the top of his backswing phase. And obviously he's got a stupid amount of speed. He gets his handle way forward at impact, which you can do when you have a stupid amount of speed, but you guys shouldn't be doing that because most of you don't have enough speed. Can you see all the comments on there? Yep. You want to roll some of them like from the top?
Yeah. So what do you think about an open stance, Lee Trevino, Freddie Couples, and Bubba Watson?
Open stance, love it. Period.
That's okay.
No, I like an open stance, especially for adding more rotation. So listen, we'll figure out a better camera situation. I don't know if you guys can. I'm not gonna be able to demonstrate as good as I can, but I like an open stance for more rotation. The only thing with open stance is if you open too much at a dress, you might not be able to rotate as much during the backswing.
Overpronation of the ankles, especially in a dress and setup, leading to poor base, which you're not going to be able to show. But
yeah, I think the only thing with the ankles, obviously, when you start at the beginning, I can't show that. Your ankles should be flexed some amount. I don't like them in or out all that much. I like the legs pretty straight or slightly bowed, not inverted at all. I'm not sure what the medical terms are there.
Josh Swilling is asking this good question. When he videos his swing from down the line, should the swing plane be from the club head through the elbow up or up the shaft?
I like up the shaft.
Okay. You gotta take a moment to answer this.
This is easy. I'm going to roll through. Just keep firing these questions in,
How do
dude.
you know if you are shallow enough?
How do you know if you're shallow enough?
Mike Johnson wants to know.
Mike Johnson. What's up, Mike Johnson? I did a like freaking. Can I swear on here or should I not? I shouldn't swear on here, probably. I'm gonna not swear. I'm gonna not swear. I did those. We did like 1 million shallow drills and videos and stuff like that. We'll do 1 million more because a lot of you guys watch them, and I need you guys watching these videos. I do offer swing analysis, yes. And is how do you know if you're shallow enough? I would put those drills in and put the sticks behind you and check that. You know you're shallow if you're peering it. You're too shallow if you hit pushes and hooks typically and fats and thins. So if you videotape yourself and you put the line down the shaft from down the line, if you put that line down the shaft, if your club head's on or just slightly underneath that, that's shallow.
Answer the impact snap question.
Impact snap, love it. I got one maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I think Kelvin Mejia was the initial one, and then the dude from Syracuse, I forget his name, bought it, I think, and then redid it. I like it for training wrist conditions, but you have a hanger. Here's what I really like, that Martin Chuck wrist educator thing like that. Not just because we sell them and have an affiliate deal, but I actually genuinely like it a lot. I like it even a little bit better than the hanger. But if you have a plastic hanger, you can do wrist conditions. Snap the little hook off of it and just put it against the wrist and roll through those videos. I use that myself with the hanger. I love that part. So I like the impact snap. I like it.
I love this. What's a good realistic club head speed for an amateur?
I think the average club head speed that I see for amateur golfers is probably around 90 miles an hour. Cameron Champion at 130 is stupid fast. Stupid 130. I can swing like 115, but on that last video, I was only like 105 because I've been doing that little slow fade, which is bad. But yeah, 90 miles an hour is like an average male club head speed 90. So if you can get up to 100 miles an hour, then if you get your angle of attack up, you can be talking about hitting at 250, 260, 270. If you're swinging 90 miles an hour, you're not sniffing those distances, even though a lot of you guys think you hit it a lot farther than you actually do.
Somebody actually asked about growing a golf channel.
Yeah.
If you're non-golfer, if you grow a golf channel, any comments on growing a YouTube channel?
Like how to build a YouTube channel?
That's they're asking. Yeah.
How to build a YouTube channel. Get really good at what you're going to talk about first. Like the reality is, I spent probably like 11 years of like ridiculous study. I went to every seminar. I traveled and saw every coach. Every time I wasn't working, I was studying, reading books, going to see people like that. And I built. Everyone says on here about the communication skills like that. Like I wasn't born with that. I built all that stuff. And so get really good at what you're doing first. It took me 11 years to feel like I can help anyone. And then make your titles YouTubey that people will click on them. That'll be part number 2. So get really good. And then YouTube's tough, right? Because there's some shit I want to talk about that you guys aren't going to click. Maybe some of you guys that are here, but some people aren't going to click. And the reality is if we don't have eyeballs, I can't talk about the shit that I want to talk about. So you have to make it kind of YouTubey and be good. Be good at what you do. Like that's really it, I think.
What are your thoughts on the no-look golf swing as a practice routine?
Like eyes up at impact, I'm assuming that means.
Yeah. Repeat the question in case it came from me too.
Yeah, so the no-look thing, I'm thinking that you mean like eyes up at the target by impact. I love that. People who do that, Annika Stormstam, David Duval, Dustin Johnson, Henrik Stenson, Eric Cogorno. Good group. Very good group.
Sam Ratchell said, can't hear the girl reading the questions.
Yeah, that's okay because she's just reading to me.
How do you optimize hitting up with the driver?
Start with the setup position. Make sure the ball is forward enough in your stance, even with the left shoulder, left armpit. Add some right. There's some questions flowing in there. Add some right tilt. When you do the tilt, can you see me from all the way back here? Can you see me okay there? It's kind of far.
Yeah.
When you add the tilt, you don't want the hip to kick forward. You just want to do like a little right side ab crunch. So make sure I'm coming back in. Make sure the ball's way forward, right side bend. In your follow through, you want to extend. So push your hips forward, chest up towards the sky. Okay, like you're sort of arching back, reverse C type of deal. So I would do that, mostly set up. And then the extension pieces, pull the hands up into the follow through and release high like this, not down and left.
Okay, and repeat the question back to the mirror. Steve's working on trying to get his left shoulder to separate from his chin on the downswing. Any thoughts that might help with that?
Left shoulder to separate from your chin. Feel like your left arm fly. We just did a video on this today, actually. So it's coming up, the solution to that. How do you get your left shoulder off your chin? Let your left arm abduct, abduction, we found out, arm off your chest and follow through. Put a glove underneath your armpit and hit some shots where it falls out during the downswing.
Hey, Eric, I love your swing. I can't tell if you release the club with your forearms or your body. What are you thinking about when you release the downswing?
So I was taught by the coach that I worked with when I was like 16, 17, 18. I got a really weak grip, like a super weak. I don't know if you can see that. I had a really weak grip pattern. So I was taught with a weak grip. I was taught to flex my left wrist, and I was taught to add a lot of supination. And I hit the ball really well as I did that. So I have probably more arm rotation during the follow through and not as much body rotation. That's just how I was taught. I was taught to do that. So I wouldn't naturally do it. I was taught into that. I hit the ball good I hit the ball good my whole life. It's always been short game stuff for me. But right now when I'm playing, I swing too far inside out to the right. So I'm always working on path. I'm not really thinking release pattern right now. But it really depends on your grip, and it depends on what your swing style is. So it depends on the person for that one.
When working on increasing flexion of the lead wrist in transition, I find it tough to also increase upper body rotation. Any tips on getting this to match up to pair properly?
So the question was, when I'm adding flexion and adding body rotation at the same time, I'm having a hard time doing that. Yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, I think you should be able to do this both at the same time. Why you can't do that, I don't know. I'd probably have to look at it. But adding flexion should take loft off the club and shut the face. Should go right along with opening. So I would throw a hanger on there for adding flexion, and then I would get my shirt buttons at the target before my arms and hands even started coming back down. I think I'd have to see that to say why you're struggling with that. There's no reason that you should struggle with that. So I don't know. I'd have to see it.
If your wrist is slightly cupped at the top, is that a more full hinge? Is that a more full hinge that can improve speed, or should it stay flat?
If your wrist is more cupped at the top, does that add hinge for speed? Yes. But if I do this, then you better get rid of that on the way down, because if you cup it at the top a lot, then it stays cup coming down, you're in big trouble. So if you extend it and cup it at the top for more hinge, can that create more speed? Yes, it can, but you're going to have to get rid of that. I'd prefer you just go up top like this and come back down, but you could do that. But the more you extend your left wrist, the more you cup your left wrist, the more you hinge automatically. And the more you hinge, the more you cup it. That's why a lot of you guys trying to get more lag during the downswing messes you up better, more than it helps you, because it makes your left wrist cupped during the downswing, and that makes everything bad.
Hey, Dean from the UK says he has a live view camera, and he thinks it's the best teaching tool. He wants to know what you think of the live view camera.
So we were just talking about the live view camera before we started here. What's up, Dean? Thanks for the question. I love the live view camera. When we made that video of the best training I've ever seen, that wasn't like a marketed YouTube video. That was like genuinely the best training aid I've ever seen, because you can watch yourself live. When I do all the videos, I'm trying to say in all of them, dude, if you can't see what you're doing when you're swinging, you don't know. Your feels and reels are two different things. My feels and reels are two different things. So if I say to you, I can't give you an answer because I need to see your swing, how the hell do you know if you can't see your swing? You don't know. If you can't see what you're doing, whether it be mirror video or a really good training station, even with good feedback stations, I'll record my swing. If I'm practicing, I record my first 5 or 10 swings every single time, because I want to know if I'm doing what I'm right. Why would you not record it? And then you don't know if you're even practicing the right shit, and then you're there for an hour later. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know what the question was. Live view golf. I love it. I genuinely do think it's the best thing. They just came out with a new one. I think we have links in the videos, or just go to live view and get it. But it's super cool. I think the fact that you can watch yourself as you're doing a feel. The hardest thing for me when I got lessons growing up is some of the people I work with they just said, feel this or do this. And I never saw it. So I had a hard time trusting, because it felt so weird. When I can watch myself make a move and I know that moves what I'm trying to do, as evidenced by the best players in the world, then I can accept exaggeration more. So I love live view. I would 100% recommend it, or at least videotape your swing. I'm rocking this thing here.
What loft is better for a high handicapper golfer in the driver?
More loft is better than less loft. The less your club head speed is, the more loft you need. The more your club head speed is, the less loft you need. What you should specifically use, I don't know. I would go to a fitter, but typically more loft is better depending on your club head speed and your delivery angles.
What are some swing hacks when you absolutely need to guarantee hitting it straight? Repeat the question.
What are some swing hacks when you absolutely have to guarantee hitting it straight? Down on your knees and hands together and pray, dude. No, it really, it's that's. I don't have any hacks for that because it really depends on. It depends on what you're doing to not hit it straight. Are you hitting pushes and hooks because your path? Or is your face open? If I'll tell you what, if you have any hacks to hit it straight, tell me because we'll put a program together with that.
Okay, back heel down at impact or off the ground?
I like it off the ground. Most people don't have enough flexibility to keep your foot down forever. And the problem is when you try and keep your foot down forever. Now, I like the foot more down, and then I like pressing off the right foot as I rotate. A lot of people, when they keep the right foot down too long, their right hip stalls out, and they lose more than they gain from that. So most of you guys can't do that. You want to roll the right foot. You don't want to come right up on your toe. You want to roll the right foot as you turn, but you want to be shifting the pressure towards the left foot. You want to shift pressure towards the left foot right off the bat, push off your right foot, but rotate with it, not press forward and then kick like this. Pushing forward as you rotate, just like any other sport you would do.
Mark wants to know if you've got any cure for the pull hook.
Any cure for the pull hook? Determine what ball flight do you want. Do you want to keep the hook but get rid of the pull? Or do you want to keep the pull but get rid of the hook? Meaning, if you have a pull hook, you need to, if you want to keep the draw, learn to start the ball to the right of the target and keep the draw. Put a stick in front of you. I don't know why. It could be aim, ball position, swing direction. Start the ball right of the stick, keep the hook. Or if you want to get rid of the hook, keep starting the ball left, shift your path more left in some way, shape, or form, keep the face less closed, and then hit a fade off of that.
Shaft lean position and address. General rule of thumb for irons, woods, drivers.
Shaft lean and address. I like the hands even with the left thigh. Hands even with the left thigh for all clubs. And then because your wedges, the ball's farther back, the hands look more forward. Your irons are more middle between sternum and shirt logo, so it looks more, shaft looks slightly forward, and driver, the ball is more forward, so the shaft is neutral, but the hand should be about in line with the left thigh is what I like.
What pressure do you feel in your feet during the swing?
Pressure in the feet, I don't feel anything. When I think about shifting my pressure forward towards my left foot and rotate, I typically always hit the ball well. When I'm trying to hit my driver really far, I shift more pressure into my right foot, and I feel like I extend up more than normal so that I can reset back down. That's that equal and opposite deal. I like 50-50 in the feet. I like a pretty big early pressure shift in the right foot without shifting mass, just pressure. I like a pretty early and hard pressure shift into the left as you rotate because that's what you would do in any other athletic event.
Bruce wants to know if you think it will not rain on a weekend anytime soon.
Never rains on the weekends up here. Never.
Cross hands through impact.
Say that?
Cross hands through impact.
Cross hands through impact. I don't know what that means. Ask that in a different way.
Mark. Tell Mark.
Yeah, Mark, give me that. Cross hands through impact. What do you mean by that?
How do I maintain hand depth on the downswing and not come over the top, causing a pull hook?
Maintain hand depth. So at the top of the swing, if we get the hands in a neutral position, the butt of the club, I've got a club here. I don't know why I'm using this paper roll, but we'll get the club. So here I'm at the top like this. The butt of the club should travel some amount down and some amount out. Now it's going to travel basically on a 45 as neutral. Most really good players actually travel a little bit more down than out. So maybe that'd be like a 40-degree angle. If you're coming too far this way, I would have to see why that's happening. But I would just go and you two do the shallow station and put the stick behind you. If you need to feel like it was a little more down versus out, I don't actually want it to go way down. But if you wanted to keep the left arm in a little more, put the stick in, or put an object underneath your left armpit. Keep your left arm on your chest as you rotate. Don't let the left arm work off your chest would be the two pieces that I would do for that. Thank you very much. Thoughts on DeChambeau? Unbelievable player, unbelievable year, won huge events. Man knows how to golf well. Super analytical, obviously, which I don't think would work for most people. Like the opposite of Dustin Johnson, not analytical. One length clubs, I've had like 4 people in who have had them that I used, um, that I've worked with that at one length clubs. I haven't seen any huge benefits or anything bad from that. So I'm okay with it, neutral on it.
What to feel as you start the downswing?
So the question is, what should you feel when you start the downswing? What you should feel anywhere is hard to answer because it depends on where you're coming from. That's like how do I get somewhere? Yeah, it just depends where I'm going. Like if I say, hey, how do I get to Chicago from Pennsylvania or from Florida, or where am I coming from? It's the same shit. What should I feel on my way down? Depends where you come from. More or less, I want the pressure shifting forward in your feet. I want the body, everything, hips, chest, and shoulders, and all that opening before the arms and hands come down. I don't like the arms and hands coming down from the top unless your lower body's way out in front of you. So pressure in the feet is what you should feel, the body opening. What you should feel with your arms and hands and club depends on where you're coming from and your grip and stuff.
How to stop dipping on the way down?
Don't stop dipping on the way down. Keep dipping, but just make sure you rotate with it.
Do you plan on doing instruction camps, 3 days, maximum of 10 students?
Yeah, so we're looking at doing some schools for next year. The reality is we don't know what we're doing. Like this is all new. The YouTube channel is new. Talking with you guys is new. This is our first YouTube live, but the reaction to the videos we've done in the programs has been excellent, and it's because you guys are watching. So I mean, our thought process is yes, we're going to do some schools next year. Not sure exactly how many people. Not sure. Can you turn that? Just press off on that thing. I'm not sure exactly how many people, not sure exactly when or days, but I'm thinking, I know like Martin, Chuck, and Andrew Rice and them do like 2 to 3 day schools with multiple people. I really like the one-on-one time, so I'm just trying to coordinate that. So probably we will do that is the answer. Is there an off button on there anywhere? No? No? Hi from England. Aiden, what's up, man? Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Slice, path or face?
Push, slice, path, or face. If the ball starts right, that's a face thing, and then it's curving right is a pathing. So usually push slice means the club, your path and impact is like pretty much zero or close to it. The ball's pushing because the face is open, and then it's curving right because your path is still zero. So if you had a push slice, the first thing I would do is fix face, get the ball going straight or even somewhat left, and then you can adjust fast. Anytime the ball's curving too far right, okay, it's a face thing is the main priority.
Problems getting a square club face through impact?
If your face is too open, is what I'm assuming. So the question is having a problem getting a square club face through impact. If the face is too open, you've got 3 main options. Number 1, strengthen your grip. Number 2, flex your lead wrist more and or bend back your right wrist more. 3, add more arm rotation. Grip stronger, more lead wrist flexion, trailer's extension, or arm supination, or a combination of all 3 of them. That will work. If that doesn't square your face, you ain't doing it right. That will work.
With many swing flaws, does it always make sense to fix what's happening earliest in the swing?
That's a good question. With many swing flaws, does it make the most sense to fix whatever's happening earliest in the swing? Most of the time, yes. If you got something that's wrong at setup or during the initial takeaway backswing, equal and opposite action reaction almost always causes a bad downswing. But for some people, if I need them to be hitting the ball better right away, because the reality is I might change your grip, your backswing, whatever, and you might hit it shitty. I almost just swore there again. You might hit it really bad. So it depends on who's in front of me. If I think you need to hit the ball better, then I'll focus on a downswing follow-through piece, start hitting the ball better, see some progress, and then as we go, I'll slowly but surely be taking those root causes out. It's really hard to do just a setup, just a takeaway, just a backswing, especially if you don't see progress in being unless you're like all in on the process. So I would try and do a downswing thing with it if you can. So maybe takeaway and downswing so you could see some progress.
If I try to shallow, I tend to shank. Could it be I'm swinging the left hand out too much?
So the question is, when I try and shallow, I shank. I'd have to see it. Could it be because the left hand, the arm goes out too much? Was that what he said? Because the left hand goes out too much. It could be. Compared to normal, if you come down and you normally are steeper, where the club gets delivered compared to when you come down, it could be when you shallow it, you're still throwing your arms and hands too far out to the right, away from you. So it might be, hey, you got to shallow the club, but then you also got to work the club back around to the left. So I would say maybe check the hand path and follow through and make sure that it's far enough left, not continuing to go to the right. When you shallow the club, that just means the club's on a shallower angle than you were going back. That's all that means, right? not a huge dumb bouncer, but some kind of. Now the club's still got to travel down on plane, and it's still got to work to the left in the follow through and back around you. Just because you shout doesn't mean you can swing right forever. I would check that first to start with, and put an object outside the ball if you need to. You know what I mean?
Steve says he learned with a strong grip, however, changed to a neutral grip recently. Seems to have relaxed his arms and shoulders, but resulted in more often some higher, shorter shots.
Yeah, so Steve-O changed his grip from stronger to weaker, resulting in higher, shorter shots. Yes, so if you change your grip and you make the same exact swing, here's a shut face delivery. And then if I just weaken my grip and do the same delivery pattern, I'm going to have more loft. I don't know if you can see that or not. If you swing the club the same way, on swing 1, you have a stronger grip. On swing 2, you have a weaker grip. Swing 2 with a weaker grip will provide more dynamic loft. The ball will go higher, shorter, maybe farther to the right. If you're going to change grips, you got to change delivery pattern. Probably add more flexion to the lead wrist, get the handle more forward. If you had a really strong grip, you can just kind of hold, do like a baseball hold release with no arm rotation. So you would have to change delivery pattern.
Had a couple people asking about speed drills and add more speed.
A couple people asking about speed drills and adding more speed. Look up Super Speed Golf. Look up Tom House. He's a speed trainer guy from baseball partner who does golf stuff. So Google Super Speed, Google Tom House. A lot of the speed stuff I use is from Tom House. Just like a lot of the short game stuff when people, John, what's up, dude? A lot of the people that ask me about short game stuff, I love James Seekman stuff. For putting, I love David Orr, right? So like, I'm not the only golf guy, obviously. I want you guys to look at some of his other, David Orr for putting, James Seekman for chipping, Super Speed Golf for speed stuff. I would train the pressure in your feet. I would get used to a lot of the drills Tom House does is right-handed and left-handed. A lot of pressure in your feet, Happy Gilmore stuff. Google those things. That would be what I would tell you to do anyway.
How to keep your swing speed up while doing wrist flexion through impact seems like it slows the swing down.
So yes, if my left wrist goes from flat to extended through impact, that does add speed, but not enough speed where it makes up for the lack of face control and the added dynamic loft.
Do you use sequence drills?
And side note on that too, Dustin Johnson, look up Cameron Champ, right? Dude just, he swings 130 miles an hour, hits a 350, hands way ahead with the driver. Dustin Johnson way ahead with the driver. Bush Koepka way ahead with the driver. Because if you got enough speed that lead wrist flexion, you have control of the face when you go through too. So I would not be trying to add speed through this. Learn how to add it a different way. Sorry.
Why do PGA Touring pros seem to have no technical understanding of their golf swings? Is there a lesson there?
Yeah. So why do PGA Tour pros not know have a technical understanding? Couple of reasons. And if you listen to older guys like Johnny Miller, Nick Faldo, some of those guys online, I never met any of them, so I'm not going to speak on them. I don't know. What they seem fine. I don't know, whatever. Their job is not to study the swing. Their job is to play golf. It's the same way as if I asked a lot of basketball players about mechanics or baseball players, whatever. They might not know. They just know how to perform. To me, if you're an athlete, like knowledge is power in a lot of things, but I think as an athlete, if you can keep that level as low as possible with understanding enough for feedback. But then you have outliers. Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Rose is a very good understanding. Tiger, I don't know if he's a good, sometimes I think he's a good understanding. So I think it's their job to perform, right? I want you guys like the shit. I like the shit. I like watching videos. I like talking mechanics. When I played my best and when I go out and play, I'm not mechanical at all. I'm not thinking about any of that shit when I'm playing. I'm just reacting.
How do you practice getting timing of the right arm extension through impact?
How do you practice getting timing of the right arm extension through impact? Your right arm extension, how much you extend it or how much you keep it flexed, depends on a couple things. Number one, it depends on club face. So if your club face is too open during the downswing, you're going to throw your right arm and your internally rotate your right shoulder as a way to square the club face. That's part number one. If your face is more shut, you can keep your right arm bent as an effort to hold off. If you look at guys that have a really bent right arm, they'll have really strong club faces. They're square to the plane coming down or closed. If you look at guys with open faces, they throw more, like a Patrick Reed type of look like that will throw more. That's part one. And the second part depends, and it goes along with it on forward flexion. The more bent over my chest is and the more right side bend I have, the more bent over my chest and right side bend, I can keep my arm more bent. If I straighten up as I go, I'm going to throw my arms as a reaction. So if you want more arm bend, you need to make sure your club face is good and you have forward flexion, right side bend, and do some no throw. Hit some shots where you keep your arm bent forever and then a follow through. Really good drill to lower the dynamic loft and get better compression.
Trish wants to know the best way to shorten your backswing.
Trish, best way to shorten your backswing is start your downswing earlier. Make a backswing. I always say make a backswing, feel your hands get about hip high, and make a downswing. See what happens. What you want to do is make a backswing, and right when you're past your takeaway phase, start shifting pressure to your lead leg and then going forward. The simple answer is to shorten your backswing. You have to start your downswing earlier. That will work every time. You just have to exaggerate enough. But then the real answer mechanically is it depends on why it's long. Your arms might bend too much. You might have too much wrist flexion. You might turn too much. It depends. But no matter what, if you shorten or you start your downswing sooner, that will work.
Paul said he's been hitting the ball with hands forward, as you described earlier, but now his miss is a hook, and he's not how to fix.
Swing more left. Get your path more to the left. If you have a hook, face is too close to the path, and or your swing direction is too far to the right. You have to fix one of those two. Why is your face too close? I don't know. Could be your grip. Could be release pattern. I like flexing. Here's what I would say: if you're flexing your left wrist and you're hooking it, don't stop flexing your left wrist. Figure out how to not hook it with the left wrist flex. Probably shift your swing direction more to the left, pass impact, make sure your ball's far enough forward in your stance.
What do you think about the Alaska move in the downswing?
What do I think about the Malaska move in the downswing? A lot of people are sending me messages about Mike Malaska. Like probably, I'm gonna bet I got like 100 emails this year about Mike Malaska's steep in the shaft. Here's my thought on that. I watch Mike Malaska's stuff and never met him in person. Don't know how he is. Seems like a cool dude. No one who plays really good golf tips the shaft this way in transition. No one. I've never seen a good golfer actually do that. I've seen Ricky Fowler and some of the guys that work with Butch that steepen it a little bit in transition. Nobody's doing that. What I think is he wants people to feel that motion, but that's not what he actually wants them to do like live. I think that's a feel, not what he actually wants them to do. I don't coach that way. Maybe I'll learn something and do it differently, but yeah, I'm gonna leave that at that. I would have to see him give a lesson to speak more on it. Certainly he didn't want someone to actually do that, right? He doesn't actually want someone to make the shaft go that way. So I'm assuming that's a feel for something different. That and I'm gonna leave that at that.
What's the best way to open your chest? Let's just go.
Best way to open your chest is to open your chest. From the top of your backswing, feel like your shirt button, the sternum, get to the target sooner before your arms and hands come down. To get your chest more open, it's really just a race. It's a sequencing thing, meaning it's open relative to your arms and hands. If I go to the top, so everyone understand, if I go to the top, the faster my arms and hands come down, the less time I have to open my body. If I go here like this, the slower my arms and hands come down, the more time I have to open the body. Anyone who rotates really well just means that their arms and hands aren't working so fast that they have time to open. If you want to rotate more, slow your arms and hands down, part one, as you feel the opening part. I think that's it. I think it's better than any like drill I could give you.
Is there such thing as releasing too late?
Is there such thing as releasing too late? Yes, there's such thing as releasing too late. Again, I hate to give shitty answers like this, but it's reality. It depends on your grip pattern. If you have a really strong grip, you want to essentially drive, hold, Kelvin me here, and never release the club. If you've got a really weak grip pattern, you want to flex and rotate. So can you release too late? You're releasing too late if you block too many shots. That's my answer.
When's your backswing too short?
When's your backswing too short? I don't know. I don't know that you can have a backswing that's too short. It depends on if you have a lot of speed or not. If you have a lot of speed and you're Tony Finau, okay, he's too short, hits it a mile. What's the dude from Kentucky? Oh man, there's other guys on tour who swing too short, who have enough speed. I'd say it's too short for you if one, you don't have enough time from there to open enough and close the face enough, or two, it's too short if you don't have enough speed. If that, I don't know. I like to see the lead arm about, if this is 0 and this is 90, I like to see the lead arm about 40 degrees. That's a good question. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what too short is. I'm only adding length to the backswing if I think the person needs more speed, usually.
About 5:35, someone's asking if we're leaving this up so they can watch later.
Yeah, so it's 5:35. This goes to say, so we'll probably do like 5 more minutes. We're going to shut this down at 5:40. Any questions that aren't answered, we may just do another YouTube video and we'll title it like questions or something, and we'll go over this. This is dope. I didn't think this many people would be here. Thank you guys for all coming to the questions. This is good. So we're gonna like 5 more minutes. Any questions? We'll do a separate video. So let's roll through a couple.
Would you agree on the downswing at hip high? The golf swing speed is at 1-to-1 regarding golf club and body.
Would I agree that during the downswing at hip high, the golf club is 1-to-1 with the body? In reality, no. In reality, the golf club's moving so much faster than your body. Your body's moving, I think the last time I saw was like maybe a few miles an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. The club head's moving like probably 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. So in reality, no. In terms of, I think what you're asking, right, is in terms of like sequence wise, as I get down to like hip high, am I kind of all moving together? I think the thought and the feel is yes, but that's not reality.
Best way to get rid of the hitting impulse from the top and not hitting over the top and start swinging with the right shoulder.
Best way to get rid of the hitting impulse from the top and swing over the top with the right shoulder. Yeah, I mean, that's hard for me to just say like think this and then that'll change it. It depends on why you have a hit instinct. Hit instinct or not, coming over the top needs to be fixed. I would throw a practice station in that doesn't allow you to come over the top. Feel what it feels like to get the club head working in a different direction. Listen, a lot of the answers are that. Like if you put the right practice station up, you ain't coming over the top anymore. And then you got to just do it for long enough and create enough feels to get rid of it. And the same shit, if you're coming too far inside out, put the right station in and do it long enough and don't quit on it. Give it a year to do it. Some of you guys hit balls once or twice or 3 times, don't like the feel, don't hit it perfect, and then you're out of it. So a practice station would be my answer to that. It's a good. I understand your questions. Like I hear where you're coming from, but the practice stations will get rid of a lot of that stuff.
Can you hit behind the ball with a bowed lead wrist?
Can you hit behind the ball with a bowed lead wrist? Yes, you can. If you don't shift enough pressure forward, if you have too much access tilt to the right, or if you don't rotate enough.
Strong grip swing. Should I feel heel is leading?
Strong grip swing. Should I feel the heel is leading? Yes, you should. Or some combination of not having the face rotate that much. You need a drive, hold, release like baseball.
My bad shots always start with my shoulders feeling real tight. Why is that?
My bad shots always start with my shoulders feeling really tight. Why is that? I have absolutely no idea.
My shots tend to start left to the target and then overdraw any drills to help correct this.
My shots start left of the target and overdraw any drills to help correct this. You have to decide what you want your ball flight pattern to be. If you want to get rid of pull hooks, then you need to put a stick in front of you, 3, 4, 5 yards in front of you, and start every ball to the right of it and keep the draw. Eventually learn to start right, curve left, and not cross the target line. Or if you want to play fades, then you got to learn to take the draw off, probably by kicking your path more left and making sure the ball's more forward. It depends on what ball flight pattern you want is the answer to that question. We're going to do like 3 or 4 more.
Managed to open my hips really well, but my chest doesn't open enough. Could there be a specific reason?
Managed to open my hips really well, but not my chest enough specific reason. Yeah, there could be a lot of reasons why that is. That could be club face issue too open, and you're stalling your chest to help close it. That could be your path is too far inside out and you're stalling your chest again to close the face enough so you can flip it. That could be you're too steep and you're stalling your chest to try and shallow out at the bottom. You could be really extending, and because you're going back this way, you can't rotate. There's always a reason why you're not rotating well if you're not doing it. It's not, there's always a reason, club face, path, whatever. So I would probably have to see your swing for that one though. So sorry about that.
Why do some top pros prefer fade over draw?
Why do top pros prefer fade over draw? They prefer fade because it's more playable. I myself have gone to fade, and I'm a top pro, obviously. At that ball speed, they have so much speed and distance where it doesn't matter. The ball curving left to right is a lot easier to manage in terms of dispersion, especially with the driver pattern. The draw pattern, and when you start swinging in and out and closing the face to path, you get pushes, hooks. There's a two-way miss pattern, and then it gets hard to manage. So most all really good players I deal with, we learn how to hook it in the beginning, learn how to shoot around par, break 70, break 80, whatever. And then you learn how to take the draw off and hit it more neutral.
Best drills to stop early extension.
Best drills to stop early extension. There's a couple. So with the one video we did with the stick in front of the leg type of thing is up there. If you search it, is one of them. You need to have opposite feels. You need to feel like your chest goes more down. You need to feel like your right shoulder goes more down, like you have more right side bend as you come through, and you need to feel like you add rotation. The problem isn't that you extend, it's that you extend, wait for it, early. So you don't want to get rid of the extension. You just want to be rotated and open, and then you can extend late. So there's a lot of really good drills for that. Yeah.
A lot of people asking about the Mary lessons. I think they think it's me. I can only dream of that swing.
So Mary, my partner here, is not Mary from the video. She's a different Mary. Maybe we'll get her on camera next time so you guys can meet her finally. Let's do like 2 more.
During backswing, why is my weight shifting too much forward with my lead shoulder going towards the ground?
During my backswing, why is my weight shifting too much forward, probably toward my toes, with my lead shoulder going down towards the ground? Yeah, so that sounds like you have too much forward flexion along with your left side bend. So if you wanted to not go forward, if I stand here straight up and down and my head goes forward, what is that? That's me in forward flexion. That's me bending my chest towards the ground. And I'm doing that with left side bend. So if you're overdoing that, you want to feel less forward bend, feel like your chest at impact or at address goes up and behind you more this way instead of down and forward towards the ball. And then your weight and your feet should respond to that.
Okay, last question.
Last question.
Do you like the underhand throw feel for players struggling to release?
Do I like the underhand throw feel for a player struggling to release? I like that. I like the underhand throw feel, yes. I like the idea that you would take the ball and not throw it at the ball. You would take a ball in your hand, not throw it down at impact, but you'd throw it in front of you and get everything open and right side bend and have the arm bent. I like all that. If you have a neutral grip, that's fine. So we're done? Okay, we're going to cut that. So thank you guys for coming here and doing this live Q&A. Like I said before, I do genuinely appreciate you guys watching the video and all of the comments. It makes it worthwhile and easy for us to do all the work behind the scenes. The reality is you guys see the videos when they pop up, but we have to shoot them. Mary edits all of them. We go back and forth on topics. So there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. So we do appreciate it. I hope that you guys find value from this stuff. We're kind of just testing this out. I mean, our plan is that we're going to do this on a pretty regular basis. And then whatever questions come up, thank you guys. Whatever questions come up, we will, I think we'll probably do another video within the next couple of weeks to answer some of you guys' questions. And then we can just do this. Like we can do whatever we want. So if you guys want to do more live Q&As, send a comment and then we'll do them more. If you guys hated it and don't want to do any live Q&As, then we won't do them. So let's do whatever we want, right? This is our channel, but this is your channel too. So whatever we want to do, you know what I mean? You guys send us shit, whatever you guys want to do, we'll figure it out. So thank you guys again. Hope that all made sense. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get off this live thing. She might be seeing me for a couple of minutes after here. And again, we'll put up the video. So thank you guys. We really appreciate it.